What's up, welcome back guys, Brax here, and I'm with Anthony Buitran today. You guys probably know him, but if you don't, he's an awesome Amazon guy who's been selling for a while, and he has a YouTube channel where you've probably seen him. But if you don't know him, who's Anthony?
So what's up guys, my name is Anthony Buitran. Shout out to Sammer for actually bringing me out here to Canada along with Tom Wing. So I'm out here for the Ecom Hub Summit, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's real interesting to always like meet people in person, right? I have always seen like Sammer through like his YouTube videos, and I've seen you kind of at the beginning of your journey. And it's cool to see like how everyone just like grows in their own unique way, right? But for me, I started my Amazon journey like when I was like a college student, and that's just like how everything like really kind of kicked off. Do you want me to just dive into that, or?
Yeah, so how you went from a college student studying, making a bit of side money, to growing it to $1 million plus business.
Yeah.
So what were you studying in college first?
Yeah, so when I was in college, I was studying MIS, and in the last semester of college, I started doing this thing called Retail Arbitrage. So now I do private label, but a lot of people that you meet in the Amazon game, I would say like might have gone there like start from Retail Arbitrage, right? Retail arbitrage is essentially where you just like go into stores, you buy a whole bunch of stuff, and then you sell it back on Amazon.
That's how I started too.
Oh, that's how you started too? Okay, yeah. In Canada?
In Canada.
Okay, cool.
A tiny bit.
Okay, yeah, but that's how most people start, and that's how most people get their feet wet in like the Amazon ecosystem. But then I realized like after graduating college, I went on like a 6-month road trip to like the West Coast. It was supposed to be the West Coast, but it only ended up being basically Arizona and California. I never made it all the way up to like Washington. I just got stuck in like LA and like San Jose and like these, just got stuck in all these places.
How much were you doing with RA first?
So when I was in college, that first semester I did it, I netted about $10,000 in like 2 months.
Nice. And
for me, I was like, I never really made that kind of money ever as a college student.
10K profit.
Yeah, profit, yeah. And this was like me not knowing what I was really doing, you know? I was just like, okay, I'll buy some stuff at like Toys R Us, I'll buy some stuff at Walmart, RIP Toys R Us, but but basically, and then I sent it in, and then it worked, and then I was like, oh, I'll do it again, and then I did it again, and then I was like, oh, maybe take out a student loan.
Yeah.
I took out a subsidized student loan for like $2,000, and I was like, oh, I could flip this, you know? I was kind of confident in it after like a couple weeks, so I was like, let me just double down a little bit. So I did that, and I'm still paying off the loan because it's like 3-4% interest rate. I could pay it off, but my money is like better spent in my other investments, is what I think.
Yeah. So 10K profit, what year was that?
This was December of 2015.
2015.
Yeah.
And then you finished college, you traveled a bit, and you're like, this RA thing needs a lot of time, and I can't do it while traveling.
Not yet. So right after that, I started my corporate job, right? I got back from the travel, and I was in management consulting with a focus in technology. And you know, I worked there for 1.5 years, but as soon as I got back from that trip, my like mindset kind of shifted, and I like realized that I don't want to work a 9 to 5 forever, right? Forever. And I realized that I wanted to be in control of my income, which was really cool. So what I just started doing was, after work, I would literally do RA. But after like a month or two, I got burnt out. I was you know working a 9 to 5, and then I would go to the gym, and then I would go do like RA for like 3-4 hours.
Go looking, scanning, maybe finding.
Yeah, maybe finding profitable.
And then packaging, and then putting all that stuff on Amazon.
Exactly, exactly. And then I was doing that all by myself. My cousin helped me every once in a while. My girlfriend helped me every once in a while. But I realized it wasn't sustainable, right? I realized the value of time, and like I was making money, but it wasn't good return on my time, and I wasn't like happy. So I always, I got more involved in like watching YouTube videos, and then different Facebook groups, and I realized that private label at least was kind of like the mecca to me. But I tried online arbitrage, I tried wholesale a little bit more, and I got into that. But I eventually hit my first break in probably like September, I think, of 2016. Most likely, I think it's 2016. with my first private label product, and then from there I always like saved like 50% of like my paychecks from my corporate job to just reinvest into private label, because I saw the potential and I saw like how, I guess, like lucky I was getting at the time.
In case one person doesn't know what private label is.
Okay. Yeah, so what private label is basically when you're buying stuff from, for me it's like buying stuff from like China, putting my own like label, branding, packaging on it, putting my own spin on like a product, and then selling it on Amazon basically.
Buying it in bulk and sending it.
Buying it in bulk. And for like the longest time I didn't think that was something like something we could do.
Like accessible.
Yeah, I thought that was just something like giant corporations like Walmart and Target like only had access to. Like I didn't think it was, we like lived in a time where like me and you could like contact someone in China and be like, hey, I want 5,000 of these items, and like I want to like add this little twist on it, add my brand on it, and they'll send it to me and like not get scammed, right? I think that's like a big issue, but I've never been scammed. I personally don't know anyone like that has been scammed. I guess
Taz.
Except Taz? Taz has been scammed?
We're doing a video with Taz. Subscribe if you want to see. It's going to be the next video.
Yeah, make sure you guys check that out too. Okay, well, one person. Sorry, Taz. But yeah, you know, ever since then, it's been pretty good for me, doing the whole private label thing. And then now, I've been doing it for 2.5 years. And I quit my job about 2.5 years ago. So a year and a half into my corporate job, I kind of got fed up with like the project I was on. I was getting staffed on like an Excel spreadsheet type of like project. And I was like, you know, like, I could do this, like, but I really think like it's not, I'm not learning as much as I would like, and I thought that literally like someone in high school could do my job, and I was like, this is not like super sustainable. Like there's some things I was doing, I was like, why are you making me do this? Like we should be outsourcing this to like the team in India, but at the level I was, they didn't allow me to use like international resources. But we did have interns, so that did help for a little bit, but I always knew that I could be doing better stuff with my time. So a year and a half later, I basically just quit. I was watching a couple like motivational videos, and you know the Lyft guy, right? Yeah, so I was watching like rando stuff, and then I was like, oh, this guy's just crushing it, and like, and watching like a whole bunch of other people, and then the next day I walked into work and I just like did it. I was just like, hey, like I'm putting it, I put it on a 4 weeks notice, just out of like, just to be like nice, and then so they had like enough time to like transition like me out of the project, and I would close out the project and everything. So
when you quit, you were only doing private label?
Yeah, I was only doing private label.
Before YouTube?
Did I have? I don't think I had a YouTube channel like by the time like I like quit.
So you were living off of Amazon purely after that?
Yeah, exactly.
Remember how many products you had back then?
I had maybe like 4 products.
That's it?
Yeah, 4 products. But
if you're selling one product, you're very close to this.
Yeah, the thing is like one product can change your life.
Yeah.
Right? One product can like change everything. I know people that have like one product will like net them like $1 million, right? While other products, I have single products that like net me like $300 a month. But some of those are like my favorite products, honestly. The ones that net me like just like $300, $200 a month, it's like consistent like income, and it's like no competition, right? It's just like less sexy to someone. They're like, oh, it's only $200, $300 a month, but you get 10 of those, you get 15 of those, you get 45 of those. Like it starts to add up and compound, and it's just like less stress or not less risk, because they're not as much of like a target.
Yeah. One of the speakers, Kevin King, you probably know him. He was saying anytime his BSR goes under 1,000, his ranking goes under 1,000, which means he's ranking very well.
Yeah.
He starts to panic.
Okay, that's interesting.
He becomes like a target for hijackers and for whatever.
Yeah, and that's when like people will start like taking like, or start trying to take your market share and whatnot.
Exactly. So how many products are you at now?
I'm at 45 products right now.
45 products.
Yeah.
A lot of people here that I met, they're at like 1, 2, 3 products, and they're already doing like 30K a month, 40K a month. So how did you go from there to doing whatever you're doing now?
Yeah, so there's different approaches to like how you can sell on Amazon. You can have like that one like mega blockbuster product that just like kills it and just like is #1 in the category, but it comes with a lot of competition. And I've realized in the Amazon game that once you learn how to launch a product, once you learn how to optimize a listing, once you learn how to do PPC, you learn it, right? So why not just keep repeating what you learn and launch more products? And then essentially I met some people that were bigger than me, which happened to be my mentors and my personal partners, Nick and Fernando, and you know, last year they did like 16 million, right? And I realized that
16 million.
Yeah, and I realized that like these guys know something, right? That like I don't, and you know, I've seen people approach their businesses in different ways, and I was like, I like what they're doing, and I like how they're living their life. Like I lived with Nick and Fernando for like 6 months, and I realized that like they live a good life, they're happy, they're not too stressed and everything. So I was like, I want to like model my business off of something like I already know that works, and it's like a kind of like a path that's kind of outlined for me, right? Because you're trying to find someone that's already done what you want to do, right? And that's what was kind of good about me starting a YouTube channel, right? The reason, like, you know, Sam, I got to meet you and I got to meet my other business partners is just because I started sharing my journey. And like when you share your journey, like people just like, you naturally attract like-minded people. And that's been like one of the most rewarding things.
That's how I met my partner as well, from YouTube.
Exactly, you know, and it's just like, I know there's some of you guys out there, I think when I meet a lot of like people who watch my YouTube channel and we finally meet in person, it's a really rewarding feeling. But sometimes I remember when I was on the other side of the camera and I was watching stuff, I was like, oh, how do I meet these guys, right? Like, how do I meet these other people? And, you know, as soon as I started just sharing my journey and being like, you know, more visible in the space, being a content creator instead of a content consumer.
It just comes to you.
Yeah, I was just like minded people just come at you, and it's just a good time.
So now that you've grown the Amazon business, do you have a team that works for you, or is it just you?
Yeah, so now it's like started to expand, right? As of like this like the last 6 months. So after just like hanging out with my partners like Nick and Fernando for, you know, a while, I realized that, you know, for me to get past like say the from the $1 million mark to the $5 million mark, right? I need to build a team, right? I can't do like everything on my own, and I shouldn't be working on ideally the operations, right? I mean, I still with them, but like there are definitely things you should start to like delegate, right? First thing for me, like I ever outsourced in terms of like hiring a VA, was I outsourced customer service. Right? And another big, just like quick tidbit, like we personally just like never call our VAs like VAs. We just call them our team members.
Team members, I like that.
Yeah, so, you know.
But essentially it's someone that you're talking to virtually in another country for cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. So VAs are just literally just people from like foreign countries, and you can pay, you know, these employees anywhere, like depending on like what level you want, from like $3 to like $8 an hour to just like start on your business, right? This is USD, you know, just so you guys know.
Canadians.
But yeah, and they like, I hired from the Philippines. I used Upwork.com. There's also onlinejobs.ph. If you're kind of like more nervous about it, there's also FreeUp. That's like another service too, that has like vetted freelancers. You're gonna pay a premium for it though. So I highly recommend you just like go through the process of going on Upwork or onlinejobs.ph and kind of like just talk to like a lot of people who you want to hire, right?
The first one was customer service, which is very common. I hear a lot of people do that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like customer service, but it was like kind of like a catch-all position, right? And I had him for maybe a year and a half before I ever hired anyone else on my team, though, right? Because I was just like, oh, this is all I need, and like, I wasn't really thinking about what it took to scale from like say $1 million to $5 million, right? And now like that I've seen what it kind of like takes and I want to get there, I realize that, all right, I need to start like offloading some of the things I'm doing. So it just comes out to like little things, right? So like when you're doing like product research, for me, all I do now is I'll like paste like an Amazon link or an ASIN into like an Asana board, and my team will do like an analysis on it. They'll like write down like what the selling price is. They'll write down like how many like competitors there is, like what's the market depth, like is like only people like from like the first 5 sellers making money, or is it the first 5 to 15 sellers are making money? They'll analyze that. They'll analyze the negative reviews, and they'll just highlight things that like that would be really nice for a sourcing agent to see.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, like all the customers are complaining that this product is breaking before it even arrives to the customer, right? So it's like, okay, we need to up like the packaging, make sure it doesn't break. That way we don't get the negative reviews. And then from there, right? So my team does all that, and then they send it to the sourcing agent in like China. We have 3 different ones, so we'll just like send it to different ones, just to get different quotes. And then from there, what we do is they give us like the FOB price of like what the item is and the MOQs, and my team will analyze it and see what the gross margins and gross net is going to be, right? And if it like meets our criteria of like, you know, at least 100% ROI, gross margins of 40% gross, right? It's not like net before like PPC and shipping, then I'll like take a look at it. But if it doesn't meet that criteria, then I don't even look at it at all, right? And so that way there's always like a little list that we're like evaluating, but it just saves a lot of time, you know, when you just like kind of optimize like different little processes like that within your business.
Did you hit the 5 million mark yet?
No. My goal this year ideally is to do 4 million. If I hit that, I'll be happy. If I don't hit it, if I grow, I'm happy, right? But I'm gonna shoot for 4 million, just be a little more aggressive with it.
What's your profit margins like?
It depends, right? So this year, I want to get it to where my gross profit, not my gross profit, my net margin is like 15% net. All right, I want to get it to there because before I've been like choosing products that had like an ROI of less than 100%, like gross margins of like 20 to like 15%, and those products work, right? But I realized that the people I found to be more successful than me, and the people I look up to in this space, like they just set higher criteria for their business. And for me, for the longest time, I was like, man, I can't find any of these products. Like, where are they? And I realized I just wasn't looking hard enough, right? Like, so that's why, like I was talking about the process where like we just like get lots of quotes, right? Because I think a lot of people go into the game and they look at like, you know, 3 products, you know, 5 products a month or something, or maybe 10 products a month, right? I'm trying to look at like 50 different products a month at least, and just like analyze the market.
And looking from start to finish, from like the cost to like sourcing almost. And like getting the shipping prices and.
Exactly, so I just try to just look more, right? So like the more you try, the more like chances you have, right? And I just want to be able to always launch like the best product at the right moment in time and everything.
So getting to that million mark, you'd say it's launching more products. After that, it's outsourcing and getting someone to help you.
Yeah, I would say getting to that million mark is really about, you can do it on your own. You don't have to have a VA then, but if you're talking about, let's say 9 to 5, like how I was, then it can be a little difficult and it feels very overwhelming sometimes of like, oh, I gotta stay up late to talk to China, I gotta respond to all these customer service messages. Sometimes the messages are really dumb too, you know? And then Amazon sends you all these emails and you're like, where do I focus? But so having that extra team member on my team like really helped. When I got him, he was charging, I think he started at like $275 an hour, right? So if you guys, you know, can't afford to pay someone $275 an hour just to like help you out for like, you know, 10 hours a week or so, then like you want to kind of reevaluate your situation, honestly. You want to understand like how much capital you have for the business, because in private label, like I really don't think the days of like starting a business with $1,000, it's not the same anymore, right? You probably could, but it's going to be a little bit harder. But if you budget at least $5,000, you know, for like product and everything. If you have $10,000, even better. But it just takes a little bit of time and takes a little bit of, you know, studying, and you're gonna lose some money in some areas, and you're gonna want to spend some extra money in certain areas. So it just really depends on the whole situation.
So if you guys don't know, they have a channel called Seller Tradecraft. Anthony and his partners, Nick and Fernando. Check it out. I'll link it in the description below. But from doing that and like teaching a lot of people and sharing your knowledge, what have you seen people struggle with the most, or what's some tip that the person watching can go with now and implement in their business?
There's a lot, there's a couple, but you know, people will always say like product research, but I will say that one of my biggest mistakes when I quit my job, is that I tried to do everything. I was like, oh my God, there's so much opportunity, right? I was like, I'm gonna launch a private label product, and then I'm gonna figure out ManyChat, I'm gonna figure out ClickFunnels, I'm gonna figure out how to do email marketing, I'm gonna figure out how to build my Shopify page and get off of Amazon, and then on top of like PPC and all this stuff. And people like wanted to partner up with me, and I kept saying yes, right, to everything, because I was like, dude, I need to do this, I need to grind, I need to get all this stuff done. But then I realized that I wasn't progressing as much as I wanted to, because I kept trying like all these different things and I wasn't focused, right?
Yeah.
So, if there's one thing that I highly recommend you do is definitely take it like one step at a time, but try to really understand like what you should be prioritizing your time on. And for me, in terms of like the 80-20 rule, is like just focus on Amazon first, and then once you get to like a certain mark, like you hit 7 figures, then like figure out like how to do Shopify, email marketing, and all these other things. But at the end of the day, just focus on Amazon PPC, optimizing your listing, optimizing your conversion rates, and that's gonna have a huge impact on like your business, and it'll be a little bit faster to do all of that than try to learn like a whole new like skill set.
Yeah, guys, if you want to ask Anthony questions, we'll probably do a live Q&A in my Facebook group. Are you down?
Yeah, I'm down to do that.
So join the Facebook group in the description below. That's mine. We'll do some Q&A at one point when you guys see this video and join. And if you want to check out Anthony, Seller Tradecraft on YouTube. What else? Anthony on Instagram.
Yeah, it's so you probably just like put one of those little text things.
Yeah,
it'll be like,
here.
yeah, at buoy.trend.jpg, right?
Check him out there.
Yeah.
And thanks for this, for hanging out with us. Thanks for coming here to Canada.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's always great to like meet like other people in person. So nice meeting you, bro.
Nice meeting you too. All right, see you guys next time. Peace.
Later.
Oh wait, if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and subscribe to see the next video. All right, see you next time. Peace.
Subscribe.